name is Melinda Johnson, and I'm a brand director for a German company called Hinkle. And so my question for you guys, and clearly you're very high up in your careers and well esteemed, but I also know that you didn't get there without some challenges and barriers. And I love that analogy of the service road, because I have to go back to the office and I commute quite a bit. I'm in the New York area, so I'm always in the car and trying to find a shortcut. But my question for you is, has there been a time you've been on that service road, or you took a wrong exit, or you went completely the wrong way, but has there been like a time when you've lost focus, or a challenge has come up, and it can be like personally, professionally, but I'd love to know like how you got back on track, and what are some of the things you did, or lessons you learned from that?
Has anybody ever flown Emirates first class? Ooh. Was it amazing? Did y'all do the one with the shower? Have you ever? Yeah. So there's a reason that I'm starting here, Belinda. I was happy in Singapore. I was, as someone said, I was the head of APAC, EMEA recruitment for the consumer bank. Things were well. My wife was pregnant, and I get this offer for this life insurance company in Boston. Head of talent job, responsible for talent management, university recruitment, executive recruitment, reporting directly to the CHRO. And then they fly me Emirates first class from Singapore to Boston for the interview, and I'm like, oh my gosh. I done arrived. Like, this is the thing. Like, I'm telling my wife about it. I'm like, you can't have this experience because I can't afford to continue to do this for you, but this is what they did, so I think I have to take this job. And it looks good on paper. Maybe I'll do it 2 to 3 years, maybe 3 to 5, it depends, but I gotta do it. Talk to all my friends, and my friends are like, you'd be dumb if you didn't take it. I'm like, I know, right? Take the job, and immediately, it's a mistake. The job that I thought I had accepted, reporting into the CHRO, a week before the job starts, CHRO pulls me aside, has wine with me, he's telling me all these things, and he's like, oh, by the way, I took another job in the company. I'm no longer the CHRO. Oh, by the way, the new person who came into the job has never done HR a day in her life. She was chief of staff for 27 years or something like that. And oh, by the way, she's decided that you shouldn't report to her. You're gonna report to somebody else who will report to her, and that person wouldn't even have really been a peer to you, but now they're your boss. Meet with the new boss. I think the job is in Boston. Has anybody been to Springfield, Massachusetts? All right. The difference between Boston and Springfield is the difference between LA and Bakersfield, which is the difference between yes to the job and hell no. So I find out that the job is in Springfield, and I'm gonna be commuting from Boston to Springfield with my, and now my wife, who is 6 months pregnant at the time, is like, we are not moving to Springfield. So I'm driving, an hour and a half to work, back and forth every day, because I gotta be home to change diapers and all that kind of stuff, because my wife was like, I ain't doing this by myself. And the job sucks, right? Like, this is, not only is it not the job I signed up for at the level, working with the types of people. I interviewed twice with the CEO, and I think I'm gonna be, in that thing. They put my name on the succession plan for CHRO when I first got there, and then within a couple of weeks, they take away the Leadership Institute that I'm supposed to co-lead. They take away, other responsibilities, and this just kind of continues to happen over a very prolonged period of time. And I literally, at one point in this whole thing, and there's people here, Javante specifically, I'll call out my friends unlike what he did yesterday because I'm putting him on blast, was one of the people I talked to this about a lot, and I'm like, am I not as good as I thought I was? Because based on the feedback I'm getting, I'm not that good. They're taking responsibilities away from me. they've now taken recruitment away from me. And that's the one thing I thought I knew really well. And they're like, actually, we're going to take that away because we don't like how you're strategizing this. And oh, by the way, we've got some questions about your ability to develop a strategy. And this is feedback I'm getting. And in the context of this environment, this is fact. And so all this is happening, and I'm like, I don't know what to do. So I send a letter to like my section from business school, basically saying, I think I've hit my first career failure, y'all. Here's the fact pattern. And because this is what they're telling me, it must be true. And I started getting notes from, like, people started calling me up on the side, like, yo, I just went through the same thing last year. Oh my gosh, this political thing happened to me. And like, I got this really amazing show of support from people who are all like, quit. And I'm like, but I can't quit. I just had a second child. My wife is not working. I cannot leave my job because I don't know how I'm gonna take care of, like, now 2 kids, one of which is now going to private school in Boston. Like, I can't do that. And they're like, but you can. But then on the other hand, I'm hearing from all these, like, some of my friends in executive recruitment, like, you have to stick it out for 2 to 3 years, because if you quit, this thing on your resume is gonna look really, really bad. Like, everybody's gonna be like, you couldn't handle the big job, right? Because this was the promotion. And if I quit now, I'll never get this chance again. And so I'm sort of battling everybody telling me I need to quit, and you shouldn't quit because you will not have a career going where you want to go. And sort of in the 11th hour of everything, I'm starting to interview, and I'm on my way to work, another microaggression. And these weren't really microaggressions, they were more aggressions. And I call my wife up on my way to work, and I'm just like, you know, I just got this note about this other thing that they took from me. And my wife, who is like, what, you don't have, you know, a savings account to cover the savings account to cover the savings account type of mentality, is like, quit. And I'm like, wait, what? She's like, just quit. I'm like, but I don't have another job. And she's like, quit, because your dignity and your self-respect is more important than these people. And if you continue to do that and let them take that from you, you will never get that back. And I can't see you this way. Right? I wish she was here to get those claps, because that was the thing. Like, literally that day, I sat down with my boss, like, yeah, I can't do this anymore. Tried to come up with some reasons, but it was like, really like, this ain't the job that y'all offered me, and you would have never gone out to market to hire me to do the job that you've now created, right? But I don't know if I was on a service road. I don't know if I took a sharp right, and I was in a neighborhood I wasn't supposed to be in. Like, people were like, roll down your window. And like, I'm like, I gotta get out of here, but I don't know my way back to the freeway. And again, if it weren't for, you know, I think vulnerability was super important there, because I sent this note to my section, and all types of people reached out to me, provided guidance. I had several mentors who did the same. The vulnerability was a big way back to the freeway. And then the other thing about that was just, I am always networking, not because I'm networking, but because I just think it's important to build relationships. And one of those relationships happened to be with the person who was building a team at Netflix. And so I get the call from her in the 11th hour, like after I was like, I'm out. And she's like, hey, I got this amazing opportunity on my team. I'm hiring my first leader, and I think you would be a great addition to the team, even though you have no idea what we're doing in entertainment. And at first I was like, nah, I'm straight. I want to go back to Asia, where I get respected as a black person. I don't think I can do this anymore, because 4.5 years in Singapore, I didn't have to deal with any of this, and I come back and I'm dealing with all of this. But I ended up listening to my wife again, because she's like, take the interview. Took the interview, went to Netflix, and the rest is history. But that sort of veering off the service, like off the side road, it was something I had never experienced before. And as somebody who has been in HR a long time, it's something that I don't think I had a lot of empathy for, because I always looked at situations where people were having these types of career challenges as a them problem. and not an environment problem. And had it not been from that experience, I don't think I would have as robust an understanding of the fact that sometimes you can do everything right and still be wrong.